met you, but I see an Amber. We're recording. Okay, so y'all are cracking me up though with all the video being off, which is totally fine. I totally get it. But so this is yoga stretch. I was just saying I'm gonna play some music throughout class today, but if YouTube hears this whenever the video is uploaded, I do not own the rights to this music. I am simply just playing a playlist on Spotify. So I would definitely encourage you, if you're watching this live or if you're watching the playback, to pick some kind of music that is calming for you. I'm gonna play this playlist called Hymns for Hipsters. All you need for today should be a mat, so yoga mat. I turned the lights on in the gym, so it's kind of bright, but definitely if you want to do your yoga practice in a dimmer room, turn the lights off, use some candles, whatever. Hopefully you already kind of got set up for that. If you didn't, no worries. And you might also want like a towel or a yoga strap if you're someone who practices yoga at home. So I'm going to use my jacket. It's close to me and I don't want to get up, so I'm going to use my jacket. But there's very minimal standing for today, so this is still going to be how we've been doing, like 30-ish minutes with our Glover workouts. But feel free. I'm still going to tag on the 5 minutes at the end, and it's going to be the Shavasana at the end, the corpse pose, the child's pose, if you want to move to legs up the wall. And I say all that because some of you are pretty regular with coming to my Sunday yoga. But if you're new, if I haven't met you, it doesn't matter. I want you to take those last 5 minutes to get a comfy spot. And remember, I'm kind of prefacing this because obviously we haven't started yet. But use the last 5 minutes. You don't have anywhere to be, as far as I know. You may have kids that are screaming, but take those last 5 minutes. I'm still gonna do it myself to just be and to just breathe and relax. So my hope for today, and my general plan for all Sunday yoga stretch when I teach it, is to leave and come out of it feeling refreshed. Obviously the world is kind of crazy right now. We're not supposed to be leaving our houses as much and things like that. So hopefully you found a quiet place to just set up your yoga mat. Take the next 30 minutes. I have no clue how loud this is going to be when my music plays. But take the next 30 minutes to relax and recharge. So there's very minimal standing, but those of you that, like I said, come to my yoga a lot, I'm going to turn that down a little because it's just for me. But I do not own the rights to this music. Saying that for my YouTube, whatever people. There is just minimal standing, but even if it's not the standing poses, if you have knee trouble, if you are moving into a pose or a stretch and it is not comfortable, please back out of that stretch. You're more than welcome to child's pose. I mean, you're at home. You can just lay down if you want, but I am here to give you some guidelines through some stretching. So the next 30-ish minutes, I really want you just to focus on a mental refresh, a physical refresh. I purposely chose some poses that are supposed to help with emotional release. So if you get a little emotional, it's okay. You're at home, you can totally turn off your camera. You're muted anyway. I can't hear you if you start crying. But 30 minutes is all I'm asking for you to really pour into yourself, because you got to take care of yourself before you can jump into other things. So I could get on a soapbox about it, obviously, but I'm going to prop this up. I do want you to go ahead and find a comfortable spot where you're seated. And I really don't know where putting this is going to be a comfortable spot. You're going to see me close my eyes a lot if you are watching me, but feel free to close your eyes. We're going to take at least 3 to 5 deep breaths, just kind of in this seated position. You can be crisscrossed, you can sit. Some people like to just kind of take their legs out in front of them, but I do want you to find a comfortable seated spot. Chest is tall, so make sure you're aware of your posture. You're not rounding through your chest here, slouching through. I want you up tall. You can have your palms in your lap. You can have your hands on your chest and breathe. But slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. I may upload a video sometime this week about some breathing exercises if that's something you guys would be interested in. But deep breaths. Try not to have my music too loud. So if you want, you can have that hand on your chest. Make sure you're sitting up tall. Close those eyes, so full deep breaths. I want you to really feel your body move as you breathe. So taking that inhale, those lungs are expanding, ribs are opening up. And then when you exhale, you're not collapsing in on yourself. You're just letting everything come back to that neutral spot. Okay, so deep breaths. In and out through your nose. Let's do 2 more here in this seated comfy squat, and then we're actually gonna take our stretching pretty slow to start. But deep breaths. If you're just feeling the weight of the world lately, if you just need to let some extra stress out, instead of exhaling through your nose, feel free to take that second to exhale. Push it out through your mouth, whatever feels better for you. Let's take 1 more deep breath in. And exhale out. Good, so staying here, and feel free to change up your legs if you want, if a certain position feels more comfortable. I'm not gonna be too picky about your leg positioning, but staying up tall, so be really mindful of your posture. I'm gonna say this a few times while we're here because it's easy to get comfortable and kind of start to slouch, but I want you to stay up tall. All we're gonna do is take that right ear over to your right shoulder. So dropping that ear down, if your neck is really tight, take some time before just dropping all the way over. You can come halfway over, back to center, okay, 3/4 of the way over, back to center, whatever feels best until you get that right ear down. Make sure this left shoulder is not trying to come up, okay? So you're still sitting tall, shoulders back, right ear to that right shoulder. If you need a little extra help, if this isn't really stretching the side of your neck very much, take that right hand, it's gonna come to the left side of your head, just for a little bit of extra push. You're not actually bringing your ear all the way over. I don't want you to pull your body into a spot that is too much. I want you to take your time, and you can even add in walking that left hand away or bringing that left hand to your low back. I call it a chicken wing, and just kind of have that elbow out to the side. You'll feel it change where you're feeling that stretch through your trap, through the top of your shoulder. But again, just listen to what your body is needing. For me, this is what's feeling okay. Just using this top hand. Let's take 1 more deep breath in. And after you exhale out, you're gonna take that chin, turn it towards that. You're staying on the right side, but you're turning towards your armpit. So if that hand is on your head, it's gonna come more to the back of your head, kind of where your ponytail would be. If this is too much, you can always take it out, and this will be the same when we switch sides, but you can always keep that hand here. You can keep that left hand on your low back. Still taking deep breaths in and out through your nose. Still sitting up tall. Slow, deep breaths. Let's do 1 more. And after you exhale, release that hand, coming back to center. We're gonna do the same thing, just take it to the other side. So I know I'm facing you guys. If you did the opposite side of me, just make sure you switch. But we're taking that left ear to left shoulder. Remember, if you need to, this side is always really tight for me. So I have to warm up that muscle. It's just the same as if you were doing, maybe you were trying to do like squat jumps. You need to do some squats first, wake up your legs before you add in that big move. Same thing when you're stretching, even just with yoga. I want you to kind of take your time. If you have some muscles that are a little angry with you. Now for me, my right shoulder is trying to come up as well because I have so much tension here. So sometimes I like to leave a hand on my shoulder to help me remember, oh yeah, we're dropping this ear over, but this doesn't need to creep up. So just kind of be aware of what you're feeling. Maybe dropping your head all the way over doesn't feel right for today. But once you're there, check your posture and make sure you're not leaning forward through your chest. Maybe you're trying to overcompensate and you're leaning back. So stay up tall. And for me on this side, I'm not gonna add in the hands because this is pretty good, but add in that left hand to the right side of your head if you want. Remember, you're not gonna push your head down or pull or force that muscle to stretch. You're just using that extra weight of your hand on your head. And you can always chicken wing or walk that hand out to the side. Actually, this feels pretty good for me today. So that's the other thing. You're gonna carry tension in different spots in your body. feel like everybody has had increased stress lately this week. And I am just taking it one day at a time. But if you're like me and you haven't really maybe slept in the most comfortable positions, or if your kids are clingy, you might have a lot of tension in this, especially in your upper body. So add in that movement if you need to, walking that hand out or bringing that hand to your low back. From here, go ahead and take that chin, staying on that left side, turning towards your armpit or towards your collarbone. So you should feel that stretch kind of crawl and like creep back to the back of your neck a little bit more. If that shoulder is trying to creep up, remember it needs to stay down. You're lengthening this right side of your neck. Still sitting up tall, taking nice deep breaths in and out through your nose. Let's do one more here. And when you exhale out, come back to center. We're gonna drop that chin down towards our chest. So for me, this is one that's always a little bit harder for me to feel, especially if when you're sitting up tall, when you drop your chin, if you're just here and it's not doing much for you, I want you to interlace those fingers, bring them to the back of your head, and add that weight with your arms, okay, to help you press. Now make sure you're not arching your back and you're not caving in here. This one is a little hard for me to talk through because I'm crushing my throat, so I can't really talk as well. But you're still sitting tall. You should feel it work its way up the back of your neck into your hairline. This is one of my favorites, to stretch out the back of your neck. So a couple of deep breaths here. Shoulders are relaxed. For me, I'm feeling this even in between my shoulder blades. I have so much tension in my upper body. Let's take one more deep breath here. Good, and when you exhale out, keep those hands interlaced or interlocked. We're gonna bring our hands underneath our chin and lift that chin up towards the ceiling. So I like to just keep my hands here because it reminds me to really stretch the front of your neck. So pretend like somebody's got a string, there's a string tied to your chin and is literally lifting you up to the ceiling. Maybe even kind of push your jaw up to the ceiling. Stretch the front of your neck. Couple of deep breaths here. I know it feels really awkward. Shoulders stay down away from your ears. You don't have to use your hands if you don't want to. One more deep breath. And then exhale out as you bring that chin back down, finding your neutral. Go ahead and give me 2 full neck rolls or neck circles. So you'll drop that chin. Slowly make your way all the way around. And when you get to that starting point, switch directions. And the last thing we're gonna do, and then we'll move on, is we're just gonna take our head and we're gonna look left to right. So I want you to think on your phone, like when you take a panoramic shot, pick kind of a point on the wall, and we're just gonna follow that line with our gaze. We won't stay here for too long because I know some people feel like it's really weird, and it is kind of awkward just to sit here. But I like that you're getting this movement in. So you're looking from left to right and right to left, whatever, going back and forth, but you're sitting tall, shoulders are relaxed. And something you may notice is that as you're looking back and forth, you may notice your neck start to loosen and you can kind of look further. Not so much like you're an owl, okay, that can like turn its head wherever, but you should be able to see that change kind of loosening through your neck. So we'll do a couple more on each side. You should be taking it pretty slow. So I know a lot of you have your cameras off and that's totally fine. But if you're here, okay, slow down, slow down. Even I'm going too fast. So I'm trying to slow myself down too. Make sure you're sitting up tall. We'll do one more each side. So your head is staying center. You're just changing that gaze across the room from left to right. Go ahead and come back to center if you need to. A couple of shoulder rolls, because for me that's kind of a lot like I said, on my upper body. So if you're not already kind of in this crisscross position, I want you to go ahead and bring your legs together here in a crisscross. We're gonna take that right leg though and bring it over your left knee. So we're not quite extending our legs out yet, but if you start here, okay, take that right leg, you're leaving that left leg where it is. Bring your right leg over. If you're already like, Rachel, this is a lot, I'm not quite as flexible in my hips, okay, I do want you to go ahead and just straighten, sorry, my foot's in front of the camera. Straighten that left leg instead, and then you'll add your twist. So if you can leave that left leg here though, right leg is coming over, left elbow to right knee, and get a little seated twist here. It's a little crisscross twist is what I'm calling it. But turn your body so your top leg is going one direction, your torso is facing the other, okay? And you're using this elbow just to kind of help you get into this twist, but your shoulders are up, so when you twist, if you're kind of still hunching over, I want you to get that right hand behind you far enough that you're actually getting this torso twisted all the way around, okay? If that's not good for you right now, if that's not working today, extend this left leg, maybe kick that leg out a little bit further, but I do want you to at least get this twist in here. Sometimes I like to kind of even hold on to my bottom leg or my top leg, but cross leg twist is what I wrote down. That's the way I can remember it. So you should be feeling this work in those hips. Again, your shoulders rolled back. I don't care what you do with this hand. I mean, I just kind of leave mine relaxed. If you want to do like a little finger exercise here, you can. It's up to you. One more deep breath here. And when you exhale, try to gently return back to center. For me, that's a lot on my hips already. If you need to kind of shimmy out those legs, shake them out. Return to that crisscross, but remember you're switching legs. So for me, my right leg is on the bottom, which is not my natural way of sitting crisscross. But your right leg is on the bottom. You have that generous bend in your leg here. Left foot's coming over your right knee. Yeah, or right arm, I'm forgetting my direction, is coming around to do this twist. So this is what I look like from behind, okay? But you should be switching sides. So if you started in that crisscross, I can't even do it this way because that's not my natural way to do it. But you should have your opposite leg on top. And you're just kind of anchoring your left leg behind that right knee, twisting the opposite way. So remember this time your left arm is walking behind you. You're opening up your chest, opening up your torso, using this elbow to kind of press. You can hold on to your leg here if you want, because that should be getting into those hips. If this isn't working for you though, remember you can extend that right leg all the way out. This is a little bit gentler on your hips and on your legs, and take it to that straight leg. I should scoot further away. Straight leg twist here, okay? But if you can, I want you to shoot for that cross leg. It just changes how you're feeling it in those hips. And then make sure that you're not caving in here or the shoulder's not rolling forward. I want you to peel it back, open through your chest. Remember, if you want to kind of do some finger exercises here, if you're still working, or if you're working from home and you're on the computer a lot, y'all, these will be a game changer when your hands start to get tired, I promise. It's something really simple, but it will help. Or you can just kind of relax, whichever feels good. Take one more deep breath here. Exhale out. Remember, you're gently returning to center. If you need to kind of shake those legs out, shake them out. I know that was a lot on your hips. Grab your strap, or for me, I'm gonna use my jacket. If you don't have a strap, grab a towel. Send a kid to grab a towel for you real quick if you forgot to grab one. I want you to come to, we're gonna do two different things. So I like to still use the line on my mat, but we're gonna do fire log with our legs, and then cow face arms. So I'm gonna be moving around a little bit on this one, just if that's totally new for you. But for your legs, what I want you to shoot for, you can see it pretty good actually here, is you're stacking up your shins to where they're parallel like logs on a fire. So knee to ankle, knee to ankle. Now this is really big, another big hip stretch. If you have a yoga block, or if you have a book or a pillow or something nearby that you can grab and kind of prop, if you have a lot of space between your ankle and your knee, that's okay. For me, I've been doing yoga for a little while, so I have a little bit more flexibility here. but you're stacking up those shins. You should have a nice little diamond shape with your legs. Okay, and you have some options. If cow face arms do not work for you, that's okay. I'm gonna show you an option there too. So your base move with your cow face is you're gonna take that right arm, you're gonna bring that elbow in close. This is a basic tricep stretch. You can use that left hand and you're gonna stay up tall. You're not gonna cave here, okay? Keep that chin lifted, eyes up. That hand is reaching in between your shoulder blade. That's your base move, your base stretch. Yes, you're getting that double whammy of upper body and lower body right now. If you wanna just focus on the legs or the arms, that's okay. If you wanna do the cow face arms, you're gonna use that towel or whatever it is you have nearby. That elbow is gonna stay in close and you're gonna try to walk those hands in as close as you can. If you can interlock those fingers here, even better, okay? If you can't, that's okay, y'all. Sometimes you have some shoulder restrictions that we'll work through and that's fine, that's totally fine. Look, I lost my fire log legs. But the main thing is if you're like, ooh, that looked cool, I wanna try cow face arms. If it's making you hunch in like this, okay, it's not helping you to stretch. I want you to at least touch fingers, hold on to that towel, because you should feel this chest kind of open through here, and you're getting both shoulders opened up as well. But don't forsake your stretch just for the I've got to touch my hands part, okay? So lots of talking there. I apologize about that, but I would say this to you guys if we were actually all together too. So elbows in close, chin is lifted. Let's do 2 more deep breaths here. If this gets to be too much for your arms, you can always just take it back, take out that left arm, work on that tricep stretch. So you should be sitting up nice and tall, core is zipped up nice and tight. 1 more deep breath on this side. And when you exhale, gently release those arms. If you need to, kind of shoulder roll. Same thing with your legs. You're gonna see me do this a lot just because I like to kind of shimmy them out. In between stretches, we've got to do the other side though. So fire log, you're just switching out the order of your legs. And for me, I can already feel my left hip is really tight. So use some props. Use that pillow if you have a yoga block at home, whatever it might be, but you should have opposite legs stacked here. Both sit bones are on your mat, knee to ankle, and then same thing with your arms, you're just switching sides. So that left elbow is gonna come up close, chin stays lifted, make sure you're not crunching down here, and then add in either that tricep stretch, okay? Elbow stays up, or if you wanna work towards that cow face, use your towel, yoga strap, maybe you've got a t-shirt close by that you just left on the floor, I don't know. But this is a really, really big shoulder stretch. This is pretty big for your hips too. So I'm hitting you with a double stretch here, but if you want to focus on one over the other, that's totally fine. I want you to do what feels good for your body. I want you to do what feels refreshing and not something that is frustrating. So deep breaths. I mean, I'm only holding on with like my tippy fingers right here, like the very ends of my fingers on this side. So do what you can. 2 more deep breaths here. I think this clock is fast. I'm trying to look at our time, but take 1 more deep breath in. Good. Exhale out as you gently release those arms. Maybe roll out those shoulders. Go ahead and undo those legs. I didn't look at the time to see what time we officially started, but this is going by so fast. So go ahead and bring those legs back behind you. I'm gonna turn this way, but just know that we're gonna work right side and left side really quick. So coming onto all fours, we'll do a couple of cat-cow first. Your shoulders are over your wrists, your hips are over your knees. Can't see myself, so I'm trying to angle up. You should have a nice flat back. Now, if you have restrictions here, if you're quite pregnant, and if you see a chiropractor and you shouldn't do the belly to the floor, keep a flat back, neutral spine. Otherwise, you're gonna take that deep breath in, belly drops to the mat, chin and tailbone lifted, really stretch through your core. Deep breath in, and then exhale as you reverse for cat. Tuck that chin, tuck your pelvis too. So sometimes I see people tuck their chin and they forget to squeeze here. Take care of that lower back. So go through this kind of at your own pace, but I always shoot for 3 cat-cow. So here's your cow stretch. Deep breath in. Keeping strong shoulders. Exhale for cat. Push those shoulders up to the ceiling. Really arching your back here. You've got one more deep breath in. And exhale out. Tucking that chin and that pelvis before you come back to a neutral spine. I want you to go ahead and pop up into that downward dog. So tailbone lifted to the ceiling. Pedal through those feet. We haven't stretched our legs a whole lot. But pedal through those feet if you need to. Strong arms here to hold you up. Your tailbone is really reaching up. Stretch the back of those legs. One more deep breath here. And we are gonna work that right side and then we'll switch to that left. So if you end up switching and you do left and then right, that's okay. We'll still do both. But from here, I want you to take that right leg forward, Right leg forward, coming all the way to the top of your mat. Drop that left knee down. You're coming into a low lunge. So your knee stays over your ankle. If this is a lot on your knee, try to maybe double up your mat, but stay low. If this is a little wobbly for you, grab something nearby that you can prop your hands on. Otherwise, you're just gonna stay here for 2 deep breaths before we add on. So that knee stays over your ankle. You should be getting that nice hip flexor stretch. Chest is lifted. If you're a little wobbly, it's okay. Good. From here, take that right hand. We're gonna add a little reverse. So left hand is coming to the back of your left leg. Right hand coming up and over, really opening the front of your body. So this hand is just resting on my calf just for a little bit of support. Okay, so I don't want you to bear all your weight down on that back leg. Right arm is reaching up and over. You should feel that open more through the right side even, but definitely that left side through that hip flexor. Let's take 2 deep breaths here. One more deep breath in. Good. Exhale, come all the way forward. Turn that right leg in front of you. Your foot is on one side of your mat. Your knee is on the other. You're sending your left leg long behind you for that pigeon stretch. So if you tend to kind of rock to the side of your mat, that's not going to do you any favors. I want you to change it up to where your hips are level, shoulders are level, and then you can walk it down. I'll turn this way so you guys can see my legs. But you can stay up tall if you want, or a lot of people like to walk it down, make a little pillow. We're not going to stay here for too long because time flies when you're doing yoga. But I do want to take care of your left side. So main things are your hips should be level, shoulders level. You can stay up tall. Most people like to walk it down. This is a little more relaxing. But if your hips are rolling off to the side, I want you to get that prop, or just hold yourself up a little bit here. I have a little bit of space there. I mean, I'm not all the way down on the mat. I haven't seen many people who have a lot of that flexibility there, but relax through those legs. If there's some tension in your glutes, trying to keep those hips from stretching, breathe and put your mind to those muscles that are trying to hold on to whatever it is that you need to release, okay? Deep breaths in and out through your nose for 2 more. You can even walk your hands all the way down and put your forehead all the way down and close your eyes. You've got 1 more deep breath. And exhale out, gently walking those hands up. I'm gonna turn this way just so you can see. Find your high plank, okay? Or a modified plank onto your knees, but your shoulders are over your wrists. You're gonna take a deep breath in. Exhale as you lower down. It's gonna feel like a tricep push-up, pressing forward either into that upward dog. This is a very big back bend where just your feet or your hands are on your mat. If that's too much, lay it down, come up just on your forearms, or you can sink it back into child's pose, okay? So child's pose is also an option there. We're gonna do 2 deep breaths here. Shoulders are rolled back, chest open if you're doing one of these back bends. Good, deep breath in, exhale out, find your downward dog. So we gotta take care of that left side, and then we'll have to wrap up, unfortunately. So pedal through those legs. I want you to take a little scan though. That right side should feel a lot looser. You should have some relief there. Take 1 more deep breath in. Exhale out, and this time you're gonna send that left leg forward. Right knee comes down to the mat. Lift through your chest, so your knee is over your ankle. All we did was switch sides. So you're staying here. Remember, if you need help, if you feel really, really wobbly, find something nearby that you can kind of rest your hands on. Otherwise, I like to keep my hands on my knee, chest up. And it's okay if you're wobbly. I'm a little wobbly too. But breathe through it. If this is hurting your knee, remember you can always double up your mat a little bit. Take one more deep breath in. And when you exhale out, that left hand this time is coming up and over. Right hand is gonna rest on that right calf so you can get that big reverse reach. Follow that left hand with your gaze. Opening up the front of your body. 2 deep breaths here. Good job. Exhale out, windmilling all the way back to the front of your mat. Same thing, taking that leg to pigeon, opposite side. So send that right leg long behind you. Your left leg is gonna turn in front of you where you have your foot on one side, your knee on the other. And remember, if you're rocking off, so this is a good picture actually, if you're like, what does she mean, like if you're not flat? I have quite a bit of space under my left glute, my left hip, and that mat. But if you're trying to sit all the way down, notice how my hips are no longer level here. So I want you to come up. I still physically touch my hips and make sure they're level, shoulders level, and then you can walk it down. You can make that little pillow with your hands. I'll leave you here for 2 deep breaths. I'm gonna creep on you guys too, because I'm proud of y'all for tuning in, for getting some yoga in. So deep breaths. Hey Desiree, Brandy, I think that's you. Summer, Megan, Amber, Molly, Chelsea. It says Peyton, but I know that's you, Ashley. Good. Take one more deep breath here. Exhale out as you gently walk up. We're gonna go through that one more time, that kind of chaturanga portion. So you're gonna find your plank. If you have no idea what I said, don't worry. But find your plank on your toes or your knees. Okay, elbows stay in as you take that deep breath in. Exhale out, try to hover down towards that mat. Remember, when you're pressing it either into this big back bend of upward dog, or even if you're in this little one, kind of staying lower in cobra, back up. You're still opening up, so you're not sinking here. You're opening up your chest, roll shoulders back, heart reaching forward, or you can child's pose if none of those are working for you. So one more deep breath here. And then exhale out last time to find that downward dog, so big push up. Send those hips up and back. Really lengthen through the back of those legs. If you still need to pedal through those heels, that's totally fine, but I want you to try and get those feet flat on the floor. Abs are scooped in tight. One more deep breath in. Good. Exhale out as you slowly bring those knees to the mat. Walk them forward a little bit. We just got a little bit more, and then we'll find our finishing pose. So you're actually gonna bring soles of the feet together. Okay, and here's a little trick I like to do. So you're coming into a butterfly where soles of the feet are together, knees fall out. If you find yourself kind of doing this and scooting your feet towards you, one neat little trick I like to do is I put my hands behind me, lift myself up, and bring my body closer to my feet. So you're either holding onto those toes, you can flutter if you want. It's been over 20 years since I've done gymnastics, but I still tend to flutter. You can hold onto your ankles. We'll take 3 deep breaths here, so if you want to add in that forward fold, that's okay too. Just make sure if you're adding that fold that you use that exhale to your advantage. When you take your deep breath in, then you'll exhale and try to get a little closer to those feet, but not to the point that you're like pulling on yourself here, okay? That's why I just kind of like to sit here and flutter. 2 more deep breaths. And last big exhale before you come all the way up. You're gonna take those legs out wide to that straddle. So maybe not a super flattering angle, I don't know. But feet out wide, you should immediately feel that stretch on the inside of your legs. And all we're gonna do is take that big reach to the middle. So if you want it to be a little more relaxing, if you have a yoga block or a pillow or something that you can set in front of you, go ahead and grab it really quick. Make sure you're keeping those toes pointed to the ceiling. So if your feet are kind of getting lazy and turning in or whatever, I do want you to keep those legs active. So you're sitting up tall, go ahead and take that big, deep breath, big reach around the room. Exhale, fold into the middle. Walk those hands out to the middle of the room. If you have that pillow, if you'd rather kind of be more relaxed, that's totally fine too. But you should feel that big stretch to the inside of your legs. I'm feeling it more on my left side than my right side. So if that's happening to you, it's okay. It's happening to me as well. And remember, your breath is gonna help you on this one. Your breath is your friend. You'll take that inhale, exhale out, maybe try to inch a little bit closer to the floor. Walk those hands a little bit further away. We're only gonna stay here for 2 more. One more deep breath in. And then when you exhale out, gently walk those hands all the way up. And you're gonna make your way onto your back. Actually, I'm gonna take that one out. Never mind, I don't wanna do that one. Not on camera. So it was gonna be happy baby. And if y'all know that, I'm not gonna show it, but we are gonna rock the baby. So kind of how we started in that cross leg position, just pick a leg that can kind of rest on the floor on the bottom. You're gonna take your right leg. This will be our last one and then we'll finish with our corpse pose. Take that right leg, you're gonna wrap your right arm around it and cradle the bottom of your right leg. So left arm is coming around just to kind of hold and support. So if you've ever held a baby in your life, if you've held a puppy, I don't know, you're kind of cradling that leg like it's your baby. And then if you want to rock here, okay, it's kind of a sneaky little glute massage, but you are getting a stretch through your hip and through your glutes. Now make sure that when you're sitting here, you're not here, right? We're not trying to bring this leg in so close that we're starting to slouch. I still want you to sit up tall. If you can add a little bit of rocking motion there and actually rock the baby, okay, you'll get that little massage I was talking about if your glutes are really tight. Otherwise, just hold here. You're still using your breath to draw that leg in close. Let's hold here for 2 more. Good. Exhale out as you gently place that leg down. Again, if you need to kind of shake it out, wiggle it out for a second, that's what I usually end up doing before we switch sides. So take that left arm, you're gonna scoop up that left leg. So you should be able to grab your leg with one arm, but I want you to take that right arm around and kind of cradle a little extra. So remember, you're sitting up tall. We're not slouching down and trying to get like our chin onto our leg. We're staying up tall. If you need to change the position of this bottom leg, change it up. Kind of rock side to side if you want. I have a knot in my glute I can feel. So if you want to add that little kind of massage. 3 more deep breaths here. I don't want to go over your time too much. Bringing that leg in closer for 1 more deep breath. And then exhale as you gently release that leg. Shake out those legs if you want to. I know we didn't do a whole lot of upper body, so that might be more of a focus for me next week. But I am going to encourage you. I'm going to grab you guys. I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and lay flat on your mat. Let me see. Does this tell me my run time? I'm going over. We'll do like 3 minutes. 3 minutes where I'm gonna talk at you for a few things. But some of you I can see, some of you I can't, and that's totally fine. But the reason I want to keep this going is for a little bit of accountability. A little bit of, no, I can't really keep you for 3 minutes. You are totally more than welcome to go and be about your way and move on with your day. But for 3 minutes, I want to see, because I am watching, I'm going to scroll through. Pick a song, okay? So you can even tune out my voice a little bit if you want. Pick a song that you want to play for the next few minutes. find a spot. I can see some legs going up the walls and onto the beds and stuff. So wall inversion, if you're not familiar with that, you'll scoot all the way to the wall and just send your legs straight up the wall. It feels really great on your back. It's really good for your hips. It's friendly for everybody. So if you're pregnant, whatever it might be, like it's a good one for you. Even if you're not pregnant, but you're on your lady time. I don't know how like censored I should be with this because it's going to get posted. It's still safe for you to do with that too. So you're more than welcome to finish in corpse pose as well, where you're laying on your back, 1 foot open at each corner of the mat, hands on your belly to feel yourself breathe, or in child's pose. So find a comfy spot. I talked at you a whole lot. I'm going to give you about 2 more minutes. I don't own the rights to this song, YouTube, that I'm going to play. But 2 minutes, focus on that breath. I know it's crazy times right now. There's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of things going on in the world, and there's a lot that we can't control, y'all. And I'm not saying all of that to make you stressed or make you be anxious. I'm saying all of that to say, like, we all feel this, and we all feel it to different extents, but be grateful for the things that you have, for the body that you have that can move and breathe, and just that you have time to be at home, that you have time to take care of yourself. I'm not even going to find a song in time, but I could get on a soapbox about finding the hidden gems in the world today that are good. And I know it might be hard. And I know there was a challenge that Maggie posted of writing down your blessings. Maybe that's something that for you, if you find yourself kind of getting into a negative place, if you find yourself kind of feeding off the negative energy, maybe that's something you should practice at least once a day even. Focusing on the good, remaining positive, being the light in a world that feels very dark and heavy. So slow, deep breaths, in and out through your nose. I'll give you 1 more minute. So maybe that wasn't a minute. My timing was off today, but I don't want to hold you for too long, or make our video go too long on YouTube or whatever. But no matter where you're at, no matter what comfortable position you chose, I'll close us with, we're going to take 2 more deep breaths together, and then we'll conclude for today. So you have the option, I do want you to inhale through your nose, but you have the option to exhale through your nose or through your mouth. I'm going to exhale through my mouth because that's just how I've been feeling lately, and it makes me feel better to be able to just let out all of that air. So take 1 deep breath in and exhale out. 1 more time, deep breath in and exhale out. Thank y'all for joining. Obviously, you're welcome to stay there, but we went a little over on time today. Thank y'all so much for taking time out of your day, and I hope that we see you more later this week. Thanks, guys.